Hi, welcome. In this video, we are going to work now with functions. Functions that are usually used in a company daily. So let's start with this group of functions from topic number 10 until topic number 13. We're going to start first with the date functions. Then we'll continue with the text functions, continue with the mathematical functions, and finally with statistical functions. So in this video, prepare yourself because we are going to learn many functions. Usually Excel has more than 400 functions, but today, what we are going to see today, these are the most commonly used in a company or an institution where you are usually working with them. But if you don't use them, it's because you have very basic knowledge of Excel. Let's start with the date functions. For each case, we're going to see an example and we're going to start explaining it. So here we have a little table where I'm showing you a column of dates and a second group of dates. It's in a second primary and a secondary column of dates. See that the format of these dates is month, day, and year. Let's start with this cell that it says here, cell 2, C2, today's date. If I want to pull out the dates of the system here in your computer, that is here to the bottom right, you can make it this way. So you just type equal and type the today function. And then I just close parentheses and enter. And this is what I got, the date that the system has. So for instance, today is May 12th, 2021. This is an automatic function. So this means that tomorrow it will be a different date. It's going to be changed, it's going to be updated immediately according to the days that are going by. Let's continue to the other one. I have another function that allows me to see another type of date, and this is the function now. So this just open parentheses and then again close parentheses. With this, I can get two things, both the system and our date. So whenever I'm going to update this sheet, this is going to change too. So according to the time when you're watching this video, today for us is May the 12th. So right now what we're going to do is work with these other functions that are very important, the year function, the month function, and the day function. I'm going to explain you how. So I just locate in this cell. What I'm going to do is to pull the year that we have here in this primary column. So I just locate here and I'm going to type equal and type year. Double click. And now it's asking me a serial number or just a cell. Then I just select this cell that is here, the first one, and then enter. And now you can see that this automatically is including the year. It's pulling out the year, only the year from this column. And then I double click to have the autofill, and it's pulling out all the years from this column until the last one. Now let's continue with the months. We can continue also with this same column. So here I'm going to use the month function, and it's also asking me again a serial number or just a cell. So I just select the same and enter. And now you can see that automatically pulled out the month of that cell. Then double click again and can pull out all the months from that column. Okay, let's center this too. Select first and then centered and aligned. Then I got the year and month from this column. Remember that we haven't worked with the second one. Now let's see about the days. To pull out the days, I just type day, then select the cell, the date here, just one date, and that's how I can get the date of that column. Now you see it pulled out all the days. So these are the basic functions for date, years, months, and days function. And here up I have the today's and now function. Now let's see now other functions, 3 more functions. First, let's make a deduction with a formula. For instance, if you have here, give me the difference of these 2 dates, but in days. How can I make a difference to multiplicate or divide? Yes, I can do that because dates are basically numbers. And if I select this column, all this column with Ctrl Shift plus down key, I go to this general, and you can see that automatically it's going to change it into figures because dates are figures. So here that you can see that this dates with the slash or hyphen is because you formatted with date. But here, since they are numbers, I can make operations, mathematical operations with them. So here it's asking me for a subtraction. For instance, let's suppose these dates are showing me the admission or departure of a product. So tomorrow is going to change, but this product was admitted this date and left today. So I need to know how many days this product was stored in a warehouse. Then I just type equal, select the first date, the recent, minus the oldest date. Then I click enter and got it. So it says from this, the admission date until the departure date. When I'm recording this video, there are 131 days of difference. If I double click, then you can see the difference of other products. Let's suppose we are talking about products here. So this could be also the admission date of personnel in a company, and this could be the current dates, or maybe the starting date of an agreement for an employee and the resigning or termination date of the agreement. So we can use these cells for different cases. Now let's see the difference in months. If I want to find this, I'm going to use very old forgotten function. It's not commonly used. So I'm going to type equal date D and F. So if you notice, it doesn't appear automatically in the list. It's like Excel doesn't recognize it, but this is a very good tool and very good function. So I'm going to type the syntax by myself. I don't have any hint here. So what I'm going to do first is just to give this first date, the primary cell, and then add a comma or a semicolon, and then I select the second date, that is this one, the C4. Once I have these 2 dates, I add another comma, open quotation marks, and then type M for month, then close quotation marks and close parentheses. With this, I am indicating and need you to work with these 2 cells, and after that give me the difference but in months. That's why we use these functions to find the difference in months. So remember that if you will need to find the difference in days, you need only to do the deduction. But here I'm just looking for months. Why is between quotation marks? Because in Excel there is a rule that all text must be in between the quotation marks. Okay, then enter, and now it says the difference between these two dates in months is equal to 4. So double click and it's autofill until the last one, and I'm going to give it a center alignment. So here I got the difference, and now let's continue with the next function that will allow me to find the difference in years. But it will be also similar to the previous one. So just locate in this cell and then type equal date D if, then open parentheses and just select the first date, comma, then select the second date. That's why I just put it in red to find it easily, then comma, and then open quotation marks and type Y and close quotation marks and close parentheses, and that's all. So here I got the result. It just made double click here and ready. Why do I have a 0 here? Because obviously these two are from the same year. So if this is the same year, there's any difference in years. But the next one is yes, because the previous one is 1981 and the other one is 2019. So it gives me a difference of 37 years. More than 400 months, more than 13,000 days. This is difference in days, difference in months, and difference found in years. Remember that all of these that are numbers are usually basically these ones. These must be separated by the comma to notice the thousands, and take out the decimals, and then it's with the format. And so this way we finished with the format of dates most known that you must take care of pretty much of them. So remember we saw the first function that is today, now there is the second one, years, the fourth month, the fifth is days, and a formula to obtain the difference but in days. And here also we saw the function to take the months and the difference in years. And in the format we added the letter M between the quotation marks using the date df. So with this we finished the date functions. Let's continue. So now we're going to see the text functions with exercise number 11. We open the file, and here you will see this exercise. I'm going to explain you what this is all about. So first, here in this basic level of Excel, we are seeing all the basic functions, but in the intermediate level we are going to see with more expanded exercise these functions, and we're going to learn how to use them, and we are going to understand how it works. Well, here we have some personal information, and let's suppose that you have received this database, could be bigger. This is a small one just for the example, but here they pulled from the information system of the company this information. The system gave you this information, or maybe at the time of typing it they made some mistake, or they just imported all the information from a file text in Word. And here you see it's in lowercase, there are some spaces everywhere, and here everything is in caps. So imagine if this is hundreds and hundreds of cells, how can I arrange that? And to convert this into lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't work as in Word. In Word you can find a function where you can convert that. There is a small ribbon, but here it doesn't exist. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I open Word here, and for instance I type something like let's say information, and then click enter. So you can see here that everything is in lowercase, but I can change that case, and here there's a change case button. Then I can turn it into uppercase or change it into lowercase, or maybe just to capitalize each word, or maybe doing it the opposite, like toggling case. So this button doesn't exist in Excel, but it does exist in functions. So what I'm going to do is just to use the functions to change the case of all this information. Okay? So we can't do it on the cell itself. On the cell that I'm selecting right now, it should be apart. So that's why I created here another table, a small one, where we are going to work on each case. So here I have some expenses, and also are not the proper ones, because let's say I need only 3 or 4 characters, but here, since the system gave it to me like this, and I am pulling out this information, we are going to solve this with some options, some functions too. And here I have some phone numbers. Now you can notice that the starting number is number 1 in all cells, and the ending number is 0 from left to right. So I just want to pull all the numbers starting from 9 until the 9th number of this serial. How to do that? I'm going to develop another function. So this is the example. So let's start now with lower, which is the first part. So here I can change this case into lower. So I'm going to locate here and then to type equal and lower. Then I select the cell, this last name, and then enter. And here you can see it automatically was changed into lowercase. So I pull it all down, and you see everything is changed into lowercase. Well, the opposite is uppercase. So I type equal and then type upper, and here's the function that it says select a text. So I'm going to select this one that is says Adam Fred, and then enter. And you can see everything is changed into uppercase. Everything is in uppercase. Now there you have it. But basically it's almost the same, because all of them keep having the same spaces everywhere. So this is not so helpful at all. So now I'm going to use a function that will allow me to unite both the name and the last name, or starting from the last name and ending with the name. I'm going to define it now. But there is a function that is called concatenate. Oh, well, these are two functions indeed. One is concat and the other one is concatenate. So these two functions that I'm going to use start like this. So you just type equal, and let's start with concat. And this function will allow me to select one text. So I'm going to select this cell that is here, the name, the first name that we selected. And now I add a comma or a semicolon. It's up to you. And then I'm going to open quotation marks. Also, these quotation marks will allow me to make space, to insert a space there. Otherwise, everything will be united. Then again, it's asking me to select the name of Alfred. So here, what I'm doing right now is joining I4 with J4. That is the name and last name of this person. So I close parentheses and enter, and there you have it. I united both the name and the last name in one cell only. If I do click on the autofill, everything will change here. So this is the concatenate function. And there is the other one. I'm going to delete it again. So I'm going to use the second option, the concatenate function. So it's asking me just the same. So just select the names. I'm not going to add the quotation marks. So just adding these two cells separated by the comma. What happens now? They are concatenated, but they are together. There's no separation here. So what I'm going to do is just to correct the first function, and then I'm going to do double click and insert the quotation marks and then a space and then again quotation marks. It's mandatory to do it that way because otherwise you will have them all together, and then click on enter and the problem solved. So concat or concatenate is the same formula. One is the oldest version and the other one is the earliest version. So everything that is here now, I would like to have it with more order. Maybe the first words to have a capital letter. And can I arrange that? Yes, of course, with a new function. So here I'm going to use the function that is proper names. And then I just type equal proper names. And it's asking me to select a text and divide it into 2. And then I have it here. And then I just close. So here I have united the name with the last name, but now the first initial letters of each name and last name are in caps, as it should be. And now it looks much better. But still we have those spaces that are additional. In the case of Cynthia, Susan, Mercy, that is not right. And also here in the middle there are some additional spaces. How can I solve that? Then I can use another function, of course. And this is the next function that is called trim. With trim, you can cut the function. You just select a text, that's all, and then I close parentheses, and then automatically this function arranged everything. Not only this one, but this one apparently doesn't have anything. But if I do a pull down, you see how it changes. So there is no additional space, not to the left, not to the right. This is the function trim that saves additional spaces. So here you have all the formats, how you can arrange and dispose the text with all these functions. Okay, let's move a little bit more to the right. Here you have two functions. These functions will allow me to pull the information from a specific cell. For instance, from these expenses that I have here, that one says 28,000, I would like to obtain only 3 figures, 3 characters. So I just type equal left. It's a very easy function. Then I double click and it's requesting me a text or a cell. I select this one, and that is 4. And now after that I add a comma and saying what number of characters you want to pull from the left. So for the example, I'm going to select this 9 and I'm going to close. So here, these are the main 3 characters typed to the left. So here I just type it in from the left side. this number of characters. If you have the function left function, if you have this left function, there's also the right function. And here it is. Then double click on the function, and here you're going to select the cell, then a comma, and after this it's asking me a number of characters. So now again I'm saying this would be number 4. Then I close and again enter. You see this? Why? Because 28,000 and then here you can see that this amount, that is 6,872, is just the same because it has only 4 characters, and also say this. So this is the left function and this is the right function. Very useful when you are working with big information and the system is been pulling more than you expected with too many zeros. So this we just I can pull information from the left or from the right side. So if you would like to pull information in the middle, then you can use the mid function. Then you can use this mid function, equal mid, and then double click, and this time it's asking me a text again, and now I'm going to select this phone number with the F4 cell, but from this cell I'm going to add a comma and say give me the initial number where I'm going to extract or pull out the figures. So I just type number 2. Why number 2? Because if you notice, the first number is number 1 and the second number is number 9. Then comma, and since now on I would like to pull 9 characters. And why 9 characters? Because if I count 9, 2, 0, 9, 5, 8 and so on, I only want 9 numbers, but I don't consider the 0 number. And then close parentheses, and in this case it explains that this time it's asking me the cell, then the position where I'm going to pull out the information, that is the number, the second character, and then the quantity 9, and there you have it. I don't have here anymore the number 1 and neither the number 0. Then double click and I got all the phone numbers. I can search them in the alignment, and with this we have developed the text functions that are quite useful. In the order, I would recommend you that to practice the concatenate function, then the proper names also, because it's a function to use that is very, very useful, because it will allow me to see the characters of each of them in capitalizing, and also the trim function to delete the additional spaces, and also left, right and mid functions. This lowercase could also be useful, and another one to change into uppercase. Okay, so now how can I do if I would like to replace this information? For instance, I would like to arrange this information here, just making a copy. Here you can delete this, but this information you would copy here and paste it, but as values only. For instance, let's see just one example. Let's say that all this that is here, I would like to have it in lower, or all this in uppercase. So I'm going to select it, Ctrl C, and then go here to the right button, and I paste it as values, and then automatically it's pasted and replaced. Then I get back to Ctrl C to see that again, because this will be considered inside the material, so you can understand how we did it by trying to perform it, to practice. Okay, so with this we just finished with the text functions. So now let's continue with the mathematical functions. Now let's open the file 12. And here we have a small table where we can explain it first before developing the exercise. Here I have a data that is a Diamond Club, the Forests. These are the partners' names. These are the admission dates. And here I have the type of partners of each of them. We have 3 types from A to C. We have the number of quotas they have paid so far. Let's suppose this information belongs to last year. And here they have the monthly paid fee. Then we can arrange it and add also the currency symbol. Let's select it, and here I have. Take out the decimals to have a round number. Okay, let's say that I have all this database. Could be a bigger one than it is right now. And now what I'm going to do is making a summary here, control panel. So I can have here in a more dynamic way what is happening with this database, with this table. If some partner wants to pay another monthly fee, or if the monthly fee is increasing, all that is going to happen automatically in this summary table. That's why I'm going to use this table for. And for that, we are going to use some mathematical functions. So, for instance, what is the information that this chart needs? First, that the amount of partners we have in the table, how many partners A, B, or C do we have? And additionally to this, what is the total sum of the partners? I mean, how much they are paying, all these 3 types of partners. Then it's asking me for the number of partners that I have, and also the amount by month. So all these are the monthly incomes. Then here I have the number of months that I have, and here I will have the total. Okay, then also I'm going to obtain the sum product formula to know how much money are we saving here and how much are we missing to reach the goal. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to use these functions. So I get over here and for I start here and use the Countif function. And now it's asking me for a range. Give me a range. This is the syntax that is requesting me. So I'm going to select as range this cell first, because here are the types of partner from A to C. So I just select the first one, and then I press the Ctrl Shift and down key. And with this, I selected the whole range. And here I selected from B4 and D4 until D43. Now what I do is to add a comma according to the syntax, and between the quotation marks I'm going to add a criteria. For instance, the syntax is asking me for a criteria, so I open quotation marks, copy from all these columns, just copy in lowercase letter A, and then close quotation marks. Okay, and ready. With this, I obtain the result. So it says that from this data, out from these 43 registries, 11 partners are belonging to type A. I repeat it again. So I type equal the function Countif. Then it's asking me for a range. I select the first one, Ctrl Shift down key, and comma. And here I also am requesting show me the letter B. I'm going to add it in between quotation marks, the letter B. And here it is. Now it says that within this range of 43 partners, there are 17 partners that belongs to type B. And now continue with the last one. Equal again. Countif. I'm just typing it as an example, doing one by one. And now it's requesting me again the range. Again, Control Shift with the down key, and then in between quotation marks, the letter C. And then close parentheses, and here I got the result. So here it says that there are 12 partners that belongs to C type. So if I would like to do the total sum, I click on Autosum. There are 43. So these are in real for 40 partners, not 43, sorry. So as a total, I have 40 partners. So how will it happen if some of these partners is going to change their type of partnership? For instance, I'm going to add here and change it, and this will automatically is changing. Now it says I have now 12 from A, 16 from B, and 12 from C. So that's a total of 40. So that's why it's very important to have this summary, because here the data is going to be updated continuously. Okay, so now let's develop the sum if function. Therefore, here I'm going to do the same, but this time I'm going to work with two ranges. One that is considered the type of partners, and the other one the amount of money they are paying monthly these partners. So I'm going to work with two columns. Why this sum if is because this is the most convenient one. Okay, then type equal sum if, then double click, and the first thing according to the syntax is the range. What is your range? Okay, so I'm going to look all the types of partners that I have. Remember, Control Shift plus down key, and then now I'm going to fix with F4, but now I'm going to fix it with F4. Now it's fixed. It's very important to have it fixed. And then comma and opening quotation marks, I'm going to type what I'm looking for. So I type letter A, close quotation marks, and again a comma, because according to the syntax it's asking me, give me a range where is the addition, where you need to add. So these are the monthly fee amounts. So just select the first one and then Control Shift down key and fix it with F4 again and enter. And now it says your 12 A type partners are paying more than $6,000 per month. So I know it's in dollars. So I just take out the decimals and add the currency. Why did I fix it? Why did I do this? And all this range too, because then I wouldn't need to do the one by one. So what I do right now is just to drag it down and do the autofill. So just correct in the letters. Now I type in the letter B, and now the same with the letter C, and so on. Then automatically I got the three functions without doing it one by one as the previous case. So I did it just here to show you how, but now you already know how to fix and use the F4 function. So here I'm going to do the Autosum, that I can take it from here also. I can drag it from the left, and obviously I'm going to change it into dollars, taking out the decimals. So the partners A are 12 and they are paying more than $6,000. The partners B, they are 16 and they are paying this amount. The partners C are 12 too, they are paying 1,800. So we have a total number of 40 partners, and per month we are receiving more than $17,000. Where does it come from? It's from this table. So how many months do we have in a year? 12. And here is giving me the total. So I'm going to multiply this amount of more than 17,000 by 12. So it's just equal, select this cell, that is the cell J7 by 12, and enter. So with this I got the result. I'm going to add also the currency symbol. I'm going to take out the decimals. So with this, as a statistical view, I know that per year I should perceive this amount, $211,000 and so on dollars. But this is not the reality. The problem is that the reality is different, because not all of them have paid on during the year. Some of them pay 10 months, 11 or 6 months. So what is the reality? And that's what I'm going to look for it here. So therefore I'm going to use the sum product function. If I wouldn't know how to use this sum product function, because I did it already in a previous video, I should have to do this. Multiply 10 by 500, and then I have 5,000. Then I do the autofill, and here I do an Autosum. So there I got the final result, that is this. So I created an additional column and an additional addition. Then I don't want to do that, so I'm going to delete it with Ctrl C. And I'm going to perform it with just one function. That is the function sum product. With this function is requesting me an array. So I'm going to select this column that are the number of quotas. I drag it down with Ctrl Shift down, and it's not necessary to function because this is the only function that I'm going to do. Then use a comma, and then choose the second matrix. It's 500, then Ctrl Shift down key. I don't fix it either, then I close parentheses, and then you got the result. And I got the same when I perform this additional column. Remember, so I have here the currency and I got the decimals. So this is my real information, what I got from this table. So, and I made it with the sum product. So it's not necessary to fix the cell because I'm not going to drag it down. There are no more cells to drag down. Okay, this is my reality, but this is what I should recover as my income. So I'm going to do a deduction. So I select this one minus this one, and there it is. And it here says that there is a difference of 50,000 and more. But if everything this is going to be filled and the partners are paying on date, and you see that this is going to change too, it's going to change as well. For instance, if I do a double click and each of them are paying, you will notice this. And here they all paid their monthly fee, but obviously it's just like this. So now they don't owe me nothing, and the fiscal year is closed. So this means that all partners are paying on time. Okay, but I'm going to delete those steps so that you can notice the difference between one by one when you are going to work again with this exercise. Well, with this, we created these exercises, these functions. These are called mathematical functions. The only function that is not mathematical one is this. I'm going to add its formula text. Remember that this one is quite good to pull all the information that is inside here. And this function is a statistical function, the Countif. But it was useful for this example. But then the function SUMIF, or the sum product function, so these are mathematical functions. The only one that is not is this. So I'm going to highlight it in red so that you already know I consider that it is a statistical function. So with this we arrive to the end of these mathematical functions. Now let's continue with the next topic, talking about the statistical functions. This is our template ready to work with it. And here I have this small table we're going to review with Ctrl+Shift-down key. Here we have this number of registers. We have 344 registered. Here these are products and these are the prices of each of them. What do we need here in this resume? Here we need the average, the maximum value, the repeated price, how many rows we have in blank. If you see, there are some that are in blank, in purpose, so that you can count how many rows with blanks you will find it. You may find this reality, and you would like to know how many of them we have. And we're going to discover that with these functions. And then also we're going to count the numerical prices and also the text cells. So this is a summary table, and sometimes it's very important to have this kind of tables so that you can work with table for statistic information on a daily basis. So let's start with the average function. You already know that. And this one, what usually does is to obtain the average of the values that I selected and divide it into that amount. So I select 30, Ctrl+Shift-down key, because it didn't select everything once more. Just keep that way, so you can arrive to the more than 400 cells. Why does it doesn't continue in a row continuously? Because there are empty cells. And if I arrive up to 1 million, you can get back, no problem. So that's what happens in this last row. From C3 up to C348. Okay, then I got the average here. Independently of how much of these products it's costing, I have that the average is this amount. Remember that this function is making an addition of all the amounts and divide it into all the cells between 344 cells. So let's see. Yes, it says there is 348 cells. But if just take out the previous cells of the headings, I will have a different number. Okay, concerning to max function, here we have it. It's the abbreviation of maximum. It's going to select some way all these ones that are here. So I just located the first one and then Ctrl+Shift-down key, and very fast. No problem if you go far beyond, but with this it's ready, and then you go up where the information ends, and then I close the parentheses and enter. So it's saying that From all of these amounts are here, everything will be here. So I add the format of dollar, and I'm going to leave it in decimals because I see here that it says 21.73. So the maximum price of this is 355. But now the opposite. The function minimum. And here I also select the first cell, Ctrl-Shift down key, and again I can go up and then click enter. Remember that whenever you are entering a function, it's not necessary to close the parentheses. If you press enter, it closes automatically. So now it's saying that everything that I have here is approximately of 450. Now imagine if I am looking for the amount that is most repeated. To find out this value in my prices are different, and I'm going to add another word that is the mode. Then I'm going to select the function, and then I'm going to select the range. I'm going to select the first value and then Ctrl-Shift down key until arriving to the 346 registry, that is the last cell. So now I close parentheses and then enter. So now it's saying that the value most repeated inside this range is 16. So this is just to activate the filters, and I'm going to see what is real. Yes, it's correct. It says that from all of these, this amount is repeated from 344 registries. All of these are repeating the number 16. Then I click enter again. And now let's going to go to count the cells that are in blank. But we don't know how many we have, but not counting them manually. I need to use a function. So I have it here again, equal, and then it allows me to count. So I just say the count blank, and then I select whole cell, all the cells here down. After selecting all of them, I save and enter. Now it's saying that there are 17 cells in blank, and also these cells that are here are not coins, but this is not how we use it. So I take out the decimals center and also add the currency, because it's showing me the average, the maximum, and the minimal price. But these ones, no currency involved here. Now it's asking me to count the numerical prices. I'm going to add them. So you see, and now that there are 17 rows without price. So I'm just going to delete it, and then it's counting only the cells in white, in blank. So it's important to get to know this information to know how many cells are missing. Now get back, and I'm going to use the count function, only count. Then again I select all these, and now if I don't want to keep doing this, since I know where do I start and where it finishes, then I just type manually the cell when it begins and when it ends. So I would like to start from C3 column and to C46, and then close, and I know that this was the range and ready. So it says that there are 327 cells with numbers. Now let's see if I can get down here. So here it is. This is the cell 346. So here there are numeric cells that are 327 cells. So if I made the addition with this, I have the 300 and so on numbers. Now it's asking me how many total records do I have. I must get the 344 cells here. So I can type here the equal count, that is this one, COUNTA. And here is requesting me select the rate, select the value. Now I'm not going to select the prices, but I'm going to select the products. Now I'll explain you why. Then I close parentheses, and again it's saying that I have 344. Why did I do that? The products and not the values, not the prices, because this function is allowing me to count text and numbers as well. But if I select this cell here, this column, there are some cells in blank, so these are not going to be considered in this counting. So to have it all counted, I need to select all this column. Then that's why I'm using the COUNTA function. And it's correct, because if I see down, there are 346 if you are not counting the main title and neither the row in blank at the beginning. Okay, with this we are finishing this topic of statistical topic, the statistical function. On the next exercise we are continuing with the higher and advanced exercise.